So I've been trying to do 1440p 144Hz gaming with capture cards for over 2 to 3 years, and I wasn't able to find anything within a reasonable price range that could actually accomplish that until today. So Avermedia released a whole line of 4K capture cards, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Avermedia Live Gamer Ultra GC553 USB capture card. So taking a look at the Avermedia capture card, we have a rectangular form factor for USB 3.1 and the back Type C to Type A, and we have HDMI 2.0 for the pass-through of HDMI, and that supports up to 4K at 60 FPS, 1440p at 144 FPS, or 1080p at 240 FPS. And the maximum capture resolution that it can do is 4K at 30 FPS, or 1440p at 60 FPS, or 1080p at 124 FPS. And inside the package we have a USB Type C to Type A cable, an HDMI 2.0 cable, pretty standard stuff. And we also get a copy of, let's take a look here. This is Power Director 15. So this is for video editing, but I most likely won't be using the software, but it is nice to have. If you don't have any video editing software for the content that you make, then you can use their free software. It comes included. And we also have the standard user manual here, nothing too impressive. Alright, so I have my capture card plugged into my streaming PC, as you can see by USB, and it is also plugged into my desktop via HDMI 2.0, so let's take a look. So after plugging in the Avermedia capture card, I was able to detect it on my computer. So under the NVIDIA control panel, I was able to see that it is one of the devices there. So it's called the Avermedia GC553. And here you can pick all the different resolutions that this thing supports. And that's through pass-through. And as you can see, it does support 2560 by 1440, 144 Hertz. So for those of you that are streaming in 1440p, you should be able to see this setting here and apply it. And if you have a pass-through for HDMI 2.0, then you should be able to do like a seamless stream. But since I have an older MG2790 monitor, this can only do 144 Hertz through DisplayPort. So my option here is to clone the display. First of all, you head over to the display settings, and then you should be able to find your capture card here as one of the listed devices. As you can see, I have mine here connected to my 1080 Ti, and I also have my main monitor connected to my 1080 Ti as well. So what I want to do is I want to clone display 1 to display 2. So I'll go here, display 1 to display 2, and duplicate display. Okay, so as you can see now, we have display 1 duplicated to display 2, so we're all set to go. Just want to make sure that both of them are running at 144 Hertz, and looks like they pretty much are, except for this little bit of rounding error there. So we're pretty much good to go on the video side. Alright, so it did take a little bit of tinkering to figure out how the audio works on this capture card. Usually on other capture cards that I've used in the past, the video and the audio would be carried over the same capture device, so you would only need to add one video capture device in OBS on the streaming rig in order to get that audio and video transmitted through. But on on the Avermedia card, you would need to add a separate audio device in order to pick up this audio that's coming through right now. As you can see, as I'm talking, I ran it through the HDMI, so my mic is being picked up here. So I just need to add this into OBS by going to Audio Input Capture, and then press OK, and then select your HDMI audio that's running through the recording devices here on the streaming rig. So once you apply that, as you can see, as I speak, it is passing through the Audio Input Capture. So in order to get this set up on the gaming PC end, you do need to use some software to get the mixing rate. So basically what I did was I downloaded VoiceMeeter Banana, which is a virtual mixer, and also you need to set up a virtual audio cable. I know this sounds very complicated and all, but it's not that bad. So basically you just go to Google, type in VoiceMeeter, and then go to their website. They have the virtual audio cable which you need to download, so download and install this first, and also download VoiceMeeter Banana. So I will link those in the description of this video. And after you have that stuff set up, you will just go over to your control panel, and then if you have your icon set to category, you'll want to change it to large icons so you can see the sound control panel right away. So just click on that, and then you can see your playback devices. So I know I have a lot of devices connected to my computer here, but what you're going to be looking for is your Avermedia GC553. This is the audio for the HDMI cable that's being passed from your gaming rig to your streaming rig. So basically you want to get this set up. What I've done here is I've set the default audio device to the virtual audio cable that I installed. So this virtual audio cable, once you have it installed, you will have one of these devices here. So you set that to the default device. And then in order to pass that audio back to your speaker system or your sound card, you will need to make it listen to that virtual audio cable. So what I've done here is under the output, under recording, I set it to listen. I don't believe it was this cable actually. I think it was this one. Yes, right here. So any audio that's being transmitted through the computer, so if I go to YouTube for instance and just play any video, it will transmit through here. As you can see, it's playing right now. So this will only run the speaker audio back to my actual speaker and not the microphone audio, because I don't want that. I only want that to be on the streaming rig. So what I've done here is I listened to the virtual audio cable back to my speaker DAC. So there it is. Once you have that applied, just check that box there, pick your actual speaker that you're going to be using or your sound card, and then press OK. And then that will pass the audio back from the virtual audio cable back to your actual speakers, so you'll have that audio there. And then the next thing you'll need is to set it up so it passes it through from this virtual audio cable to your HDMI output on your TV, or sorry, not TV, this just looks like a TV, so it's actually your capture card. So you want to pass that audio from the virtual mixer back to your capture card. So this is where VoiceMeeter Banana comes in. And in VoiceMeeter Banana, you basically set the virtual audio cable as your first input, and then your second input is your microphone. So I have my microphone selected there as well. And then you want to feed all that to your capture card, so the GC553 in this case. So once I have that selected there, it will pass the audio from the microphone and from the speaker set to the audio input in the capture card. So once that's set up, as you can see, it's good to go. So the first thing I tested out was some standard 1080p 60 FPS streaming. So I used 6 megabits for the bit rate and medium encoding present on OBS to see how it would perform. And as far as I can see, the video quality looks like it's fine for what it is. Like it's definitely a good 6 megabit quality video, and there's no like desync in audio or any problems that I could see from the gameplay that I looked over, and you guys can see for yourselves. So the last thing I tested here was using the stock software, so RECentral. That's the software that Avermedia includes with the capture card. And I used the default bit rate that it came with at 1440p 60 FPS, so that was about 200 megabits per second. And this created extremely large file sizes, but the video quality was absolutely gorgeous. Like if you look at it, it's beautiful. Like it can't compare to just a typical stream quality. So I was thinking about downsides to this card, and the only one that I could come up with was the resolution issue. So basically, if you're running on 1440p or 4K, for instance, and you try to downsize to 1080p, then you'll get this error that says resolution not supported for resizing. But I have seen other streamers and other content creators use this capture card, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I haven't got this to work myself personally to get 1440p down to 1080. But this is not the biggest issue because you can always use software like OBS to do your resizing afterwards when you're rendering. So it's not the biggest problem, but hopefully they'll fix it in firmware updates in the future. So comparing this card to all the other 4K capture cards, there's no other card that is cheaper on the market at the moment for 4K capturing or high refresh rate and high resolution capturing. So do I recommend it? Yes, definitely. It works almost flawlessly. I know that they're going to do more firmware updates in the future to patch out any little bugs or anything, but for what it is, it works perfectly. Like it streams perfectly, it does a high quality video capture perfectly, and it's only $245 US compared to other capture cards out there like Elgato's HD 4K, which is like $500 right now, and there's like some Magwell cards that are $600 plus, and then there's like Blackmagic ones that are over $1,000. So this is basically the cheapest you're ever gonna find. So yeah, go pick it up. If you want to use my referral link for this video, check out my Amazon link at the bottom for this item. And thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you guys want, and I'll be putting up more of these videos in the future.